Bill went to UNC. How do you feel? How do you feel about people?
I don't love it, but I understand why he's doing it. If you feel that you've been shunned by the NFL and, your way of coaching and, uh, building a team, building character, building up coaches that will be future coaches, his whole Patriot Way, his whole do your job mentality, has really left the NFL. And it was simple, but it was complicated at times. And, for him to be that close to the record, we talked about it on that interview with Kerry Regan. So just go back and watch that. That was a good one. But I think that he realized that his days in the NFL were numbered and it was over. And I don't know why it was North Carolina. I mean, I know they just let go of Mac Brown. It was a college legend in his own right, as far as coaching goes. So, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. They're going to have a bunch of fifth-year seniors. They're going to win 9. They're going to win 9 games, and they're going to win the college playoffs. Like, that's going to happen. And I think if he found a way to win a natty down there, I mean, he's already the best coach of all time. But that would just it would further cement the legacy if he was to win down there.
Yeah, How do you feel about the idea that we've been banging the drum? I mean, notably, you and Mike have been really banging the drum about his GMing ability in the NFL. How do you think that first off, how did that job in general translate to being able to scout talent for a college football program? And like, do you think because it's Bill Belichick, giving him the keys to the castle, as we all know UNC did, I mean, if this 4,000-page dossier on how he is going to run the program and the requirements he has and, their agreements for bringing him in, meeting certain financial thresholds, coaching payments, it seems like it was all in there. Seems like there was no stone unturned. So
Right.
How do you feel about giving him the keys to the car to this degree? It's, you're really riding or dying with Bill Belichick, which I don't think is a terrible idea. Historically, it's proven not to be totally honest, with the exception of those last, 4 years in New England.
Mm.
How do those things translate in general? And how do you think they're going to translate in this situation, if you could speculate?
So one, I can't wait to hear the recruiting stories. I cannot wait.
Bill Belichick coming to your house is wild, huh? If you're like a senior in high school.
Because his former players have already been laughing about it. Like the McCourties have laughed about it. Even Tom Brady clowned him about it. Tom was like, I can't imagine him going to someone's house saying, "Look, we really don't want you anyways." It's like, you want more money, but you just got an F on the history test. What are we doing here? Like, so that's going to be very funny to hear. I just thought it was funny that he bashed the quarterback that just came from North Carolina that's in New England, and now he's down there in North Carolina. So yeah, I think that's funny at the same school that he was bashing the quarterback play. So I think that's hilarious. So, but yeah, I'll see. But like I said, he won't have too many freshmen that will be sitting there playing. You're going to be a sophomore or junior. Like if you're a sophomore or junior that's been kind of meddling somewhere else that hasn't done well, he's going to be great for you because he's going to show you the game. He's going to show you all the techniques. And once again, his coaching mind is still, second to none. They're going to be the most prepared team in college football, hands down. It would not be even close. He prepares for every situation. So from that standpoint, they're going to be fine. Recruiting, we'll see. But like I said, from a coaching standpoint, those players will be better if they get to the league because they'll know just about every scenario possible because you can't play for him if you don't. So that's just how it is.
But has he elevated just by being Bill Belichick, at least in his first couple of years down there? Has he elevated UNC's pull to that of an Alabama already? Or is that too much to say?
It showed because college football is more so about the coaches. So you think about Dabo, you think about Nick Saban, you think about Jim Harbaugh when he was at Stanford and obviously at Michigan. Jim Tressel back in the day at at Ohio State. So those are Jimmy Johnson with the U. Coaches are the face, so you do put that into consideration for the most part. I do think I wonder who he puts around him. I'm assuming McDaniels goes down there with him. I'm assuming, we talked about Joe Judge and everyone else following him down there. That's what Karen had mentioned the other day on the show. So we'll see, but I definitely think McDaniels follows him down there. I wonder who he has as like the defensive coordinator. But yeah, he'll have those guys ready. But I don't know if it'd be on the Alabama level yet. But we'll find out. We'll find out if those guys can handle playing, for a coach that has seen it all. It'll be funny to see him try to be relatable to the younger kids because to me, he's very much like Saban, which is why they were on the same coaching staff back in Cleveland. Uh, Saban clearly has a little bit of a personality because we're seeing it in the college game day. Like, dude has been fucking hilarious on there.
Well, also, we're listening to Nick Saban talk about football, and I didn't really realize this, but listening to him until this last offseason, listening to him talk about football is it feels like you're sitting next to the Dalai Lama, like just hearing about like what, and Bill just doesn't have that same thing. I'm sure he knows as much as Nick Saban does, or if not more, about the game and like the history of the game and how to coach and what level, et cetera, et cetera. But listening to Nick Saban talk about football, it's like sitting next to a fucking Jedi master. It's crazy. And I could do it for the next week straight. Just give me hours and hours of audiobook of that and I'll 100% consume it. But so I wonder, if that cult of personality thing is really much more impactful in the college game because you are trying to bring a group of kids together and sort of selling them a dream as opposed to 900 different situations on an NFL roster, business decisions. Your best cornerback needs to make sure that he gets
Yeah.
fucking paid before he gets himself hurt, et cetera, et cetera.
Well,
Contract years, like,
can you imagine if a kid's telling him he's not going to play a bowl game? Can you imagine?
yeah,
Because
no.
I can't. How do you go up to how do you go up to the
I don't think he
owner?
brings that kid in. That's the thing, as I just don't think that kid gets brought to the program in the first place.
Yeah,
I feel like there's a world where it's just so not hyperbolic to say something like, in 5 years, Bill Belichick will send the most pro-ready quarterback in NFL history to the draft. Like, I just don't think it would be an insane scenario to play out. And it would be like cut and dry, right? Where I'm talking like
mhm,
just a layman can look at him play quarterback in college and be like, that's the most NFL ready quarterback I've ever seen in a
yeah.
college uniform, right?
Ye
And
yeah,
does that translate? Does it do this? Is that an achievement for Belichick? To sort of say, national title, sure, but also like I still fucking got you guys. I'm
yeah.
I'm still sending this kid in to just dominate your league because I still get it, and you guys are dumb for letting me go.
I think for him, if you're a running back or a secondary player, you absolutely want to go down there because the one thing he's always been able to find is a good running back, and he knows how to find a good secondary player. It's just
If he
something.
finds the guy, yeah, it's a good
He
point.
he just
It's
he
a
just
good
he
point.
so if you play that position, you absolutely wanna go down there because his eye for running backs, his eye for secondaries is second to none. Linebackers too, you know? And I just thought about this, right? Because he's going to UNC. This is a super long shot. He'd be such a wild card, literally. I wonder if he reached out to LT, if LT will come down there with them and coach. I wonder
Interesting.
because,
Interesting.
Lawrence Taylor is,
Defensive coordinator.
yeah, that would be that. I mean, like, once again, I mean, if there's any player that he never speaks bad about, and I mean ever, is Lawrence Taylor. Like he holds him in such high regard as he should. He is the greatest defensive player of all time. Some may say Reggie White, you may say Dion, but Lawrence Taylor stroke fair every week in every play. Once again, not opinion is a fact. Look at the tape. He was all over the place. So I think that would be a phenomenal way to go out to be with the guy that started your coaching career with him being his alma mater. I think that would be amazing. Does it happen? Probably not, but that's just something that came into my mind.
That'd be
Um,
super sick.
talking about, yeah, that'd be pretty dope. But yeah, I just think, but yeah, I wholeheartedly agree with you with the quarterback thing. I think that whatever quarterback he brings in, like I said, he's gonna be tough on him. I said he was tough on Tom, tough on
Well,
Drew.
you got to go find the right guy, right? That's the thing. Is like yet again, this sort of fact is going to haunt him. I mean, even more so now. I guess he could probably build a title winning team without. We've seen it in college, right? Over the last few
Mhm,
years, there's flawed QBs on college teams
mhm,
winning it
mhm.
all. Um, I wonder, I wonder if he'd be happy with that. I still think that he wants to send a message to the NFL on some level. Like I do think that he is I don't necessarily. I mean, obviously, he walked away without beating the record. Like two more seasons of coaching would have in the NFL would have smashed that all time wins record. I'm sure if he went to the right place.
Mm,
I don't think that he's not a little petty. I think anyone who's like achieved that level of success has a little bit of an ego, and I
right.
do think he wants to probably be in the national conversation again by sending a guy, in a few years' time that it maybe takes the NFL by storm immediately.